Hey, warriors of the dawn, the world is still asleep when you open your eyes. There's something sacred about that moment, the quietness wrapping around you like a gentle promise. No notifications, no demands, just you and the soft whisper of a new beginning. This isn't just another morning. This is your canvas, untouched and waiting. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled Rome, would wake before dawn and ask himself a powerful question. What am I waking up to do today? He understood something profound, that the morning doesn't just happen to us. We happen to the morning, we shape it. We breathe life into it with our choices, our thoughts, our willingness to rise when comfort begs us to stay. There's a reason the ancient Stoics treated dawn as sacred. They knew that how you begin shapes everything that follows. The morning is where transformation lives. It's where the person you want to become meets the person you are right now. And in that meeting, in that quiet confrontation with yourself, real change becomes possible. Think about water flowing down a mountain. It doesn't rush all at once. It begins with a single drop, then another, each one following the path of least resistance until, over time, it carves canyons through solid rock. Your morning is that first drop. Small, yes, but powerful beyond measure when given consistency and intention. We live in a world that celebrates the night, the late hours, the burning midnight oil, the idea that rest is somehow weakness. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that true strength isn't found in exhaustion, it's found in discipline, in the quiet victory of choosing presence over convenience, of choosing growth over comfort. Seneca once wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." Each morning is a miniature lifetime. It has its own beginning, middle and end. Its own opportunities and challenges, its own moment of choice where you decide, will I be intentional or will I be reactive? When you wake early, you're not just gaining time, you're reclaiming sovereignty over your life. You're saying, I choose how this day begins, I choose the energy I bring, I choose the thoughts I feed, and that choice, that simple, profound choice, ripples through everything that follows. The beauty of morning isn't just in its quietness, it's in its honesty. The morning doesn't lie to you. It shows you exactly who you are when no one is watching, when there's no audience to perform for, when it's just you, your breath, and the question, what kind of person do I want to be today? This isn't about perfection. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about meeting yourself with compassion and clarity, about building a relationship with discipline that feels like love, not punishment, about understanding that every sunrise is an invitation, not a demand, but an invitation to start again. So, as we journey through these 7 principles of morning stoicism, remember, you're not just learning strategies. You're rediscovering an ancient wisdom that has guided warriors, philosophers, and everyday heroes for thousands of years. You're learning to treat your morning as what it truly is, a gift, a teacher, and a sacred space where the person you're becoming takes shape. Pause the video right now and type these words in the comments. I rise with intention and purpose. Make it your declaration to the universe. Don't skip any part of this video. Your transformation lives in the complete journey. Let's begin. Number 1. The power of predictable ritual. There's something deeply human about ritual, something that reaches past our logic and touches the part of us that craves meaning, connection, and continuity. The ancient Stoics understood this. They didn't just wake up randomly and hope for the best. They built ceremonies around their mornings, simple, repeatable acts that transformed ordinary moments into something sacred. Epictetus taught his students about the concept of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of challenges. But he also taught something equally important: the power of consistent practice. He would say, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Your morning ritual is where that transformation begins. It's where saying becomes doing. Think about a lighthouse standing firm against crashing waves. It doesn't change its position based on the weather. It doesn't move when storms come. It stands exactly where it needs to stand, offering the same light, the same guidance, night after night, storm after storm. Your morning ritual is your lighthouse. It's the fixed point in a changing world. When you create a predictable morning sequence, even something as simple as waking at the same time, drinking water, sitting in silence and setting an intention, you're doing something revolutionary. You're telling your nervous system, you are safe, you are grounded, we know what comes next. And in that safety, in that groundedness, your mind stops spinning and starts focusing. The beauty of ritual isn't in its complexity, it's in its reliability. Your brain loves patterns. It craves them. When you repeat the same morning sequence day after day, your brain starts to anticipate it. It prepares for it. The resistance you feel on day 1 starts to dissolve by day 7. By day 30, it's not willpower anymore. It's just who you are. But here's what makes this Stoic: not just routine, intention. Anyone can go through motions. The Stoics infused their rituals with meaning. When Marcus Aurelius performed his morning routine, he wasn't just checking boxes. He was preparing his soul for the day ahead. He was remembering his values, his purpose, his commitment to virtue. So what does this look like practically? It means choosing 3 to 5 simple actions that ground you. Maybe it's lighting a candle and taking 3 deep breaths. Maybe it's reading a page of wisdom. Maybe it's looking out the window and acknowledging the gift of another day. The specific actions matter less than your presence within them. Notice the word presence. This is where most people lose the power of ritual. They create a routine, but they sleepwalk through it. They're physically there, but mentally they're already in the chaos of the day. The Stoic approach is different. Each action deserves your full attention. Each moment is honored. When you drink water, you feel the water. When you breathe, you feel the breath. This is how ritual becomes transformation. There's a reason monasteries have bells, why sacred traditions have prayers, why winners have pre-game routines. They all understand something fundamental. Consistency creates capacity. When your morning is predictable, your mind is free to go deeper. You're not wasting mental energy deciding what to do next. You're channeling that energy into presence, into growth, into becoming. And here's the paradox. This structure doesn't limit your freedom, it creates it. When your morning is solid, when it's something you can rely on, the rest of your day has space to be flexible. You can handle surprises, you can adapt to challenges, because you started from a place of centeredness, not chaos. The Stoics also knew something about imperfection. Your ritual won't be perfect every day. Some mornings you'll be tired. Some mornings you'll resist. Some mornings life will interrupt. And that's okay. The power isn't in perfection. It's in return. It's in saying, yesterday I stumbled, but today I'm back. This is the practice. This is the path. So ask yourself tonight before you sleep, what 3 simple actions will anchor my morning? What ritual will I commit to, not for a week, but for a lifetime? What sequence will become my lighthouse? Because once you answer these questions and begin, you're not just changing your morning, you're changing the entire trajectory of your life. If this resonates with your soul, let me see you commit below. Write, my morning ritual is my foundation. And watch how speaking it makes it real. Number 2. Winning the battle before it begins. The greatest battles are won before the sun rises. Not on the battlefield, but in the mind. Not with swords, but with decisions. The Stoics knew this truth intimately. They understood that the war for your day isn't fought at noon when chaos arrives. It's fought in those precious early moments when you choose your state of mind. There's a concept in Stoic philosophy called the discipline of assent. It means you have the power to choose which thoughts you accept and which you reject. But here's what most people miss. This power is strongest in the morning. Your mind is fresh, unburdened by the day's accumulation of stress and reactivity. This is your advantage. This is your window. Think of your mind as a fortress. Every day, countless forces will try to breach its walls. Anxiety about deadlines, worry about relationships, fear about the future, anger about the past. If you wait until these forces are at your gate, you're already defending. But if you fortify your mind in the morning, before the siege begins, you stand from a position of strength. Marcus Aurelius practiced what he called morning meditation. He would sit with himself and prepare for the day ahead, not by planning every detail, but by remembering his principles. He would remind himself, "Today I will meet difficult people. They may be angry, ungrateful, or deceitful, but I will not let their actions disturb my inner peace. I am in control of my responses, not their actions." This is what winning before the battle looks like. You're not pretending challenges won't come. You're preparing yourself to meet them with grace instead of reaction. You're choosing your emotional baseline before life tries to choose it for you. When you wake and immediately check your phone, you're inviting the world to set your emotional tone. Someone else's emergency becomes your urgency. Someone else's anger becomes your agitation. Someone else's expectations become your anxiety. You've surrendered the battle before you even knew it was happening. The Stoics would see this as voluntary slavery, giving away your freedom to external circumstances. But when you wake and give yourself time before engaging with the external world, something powerful happens. You remember who you are beneath all the roles and responsibilities. You reconnect with your values. You choose the lens through which you'll view the day. This isn't escaping reality. This is preparing to engage with reality from a place of wisdom rather than fear. Consider the athlete before the game. They don't just show up and react. They visualize. They breathe. They center themselves. They remember their training. They choose their mindset. Your life deserves the same preparation. Every single day is a game worth preparing for. Every morning is your locker room moment. The practical application is simple but profound. Spend the first few minutes of your waking life in deliberate thought. Not worry, not planning, but philosophical preparation. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What values will I embody regardless of circumstances? What challenges might arise, and how will I meet them with wisdom? Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The morning is where you break this cycle. Instead of imagining worst-case scenarios that trigger anxiety, you imagine best-case responses that trigger readiness. You don't visualize failure, you visualize resilience. You don't rehearse panic, you rehearse peace. This is also where gratitude becomes a weapon. Not the shallow checklist kind of gratitude, but deep acknowledgement of what you have. When you start your day by recognizing what's already working, what's already beautiful, what's already enough, you build psychological armor. Complaints can't penetrate as easily. Comparison loses its sting. Dissatisfaction has nowhere to root. The Stoics believed in amor fati, love of fate. This means embracing whatever comes with openness rather than resistance. But this isn't passive acceptance. It's active choice. And that choice is made strongest in the morning when you decide, Whatever happens today, I will find the lesson. I will find the growth. I will find the opportunity hidden within the challenge. Here's the truth most people never realize. You don't need to control life to live well. You only need to control your relationship with life. And that relationship is established fresh every morning. It's not permanent. It's not fixed. It's a daily renewal of your commitment to respond with wisdom, courage, and grace. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you start planning, before you engage with anything external, take 3 minutes. Sit. Breathe. Remember who you are. Remember what you stand for. Prepare your mind for whatever comes. Win the battle before it begins. Here's your power move. Drop this in the comments. I choose my response before the world chooses for me. Say it out loud, then write it down. Let's claim this together. Number 3, the holy hour of silence. There's a reason every wisdom tradition honors silence. It's not empty. It's full of presence, full of clarity, full of the truth that gets drowned out by noise. The Stoics didn't just tolerate silence, they sought it hungrily. They knew that in the quiet, we hear what matters most. And the morning, before the world awakens, is when silence is most accessible and most powerful. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, taught that wisdom begins with listening, not just to others, but to ourselves. But how can we hear our own inner voice when we're constantly feeding ourselves external input? The morning silence isn't about blocking the world out. It's about tuning yourself in. Think of silence like the surface of a still pond. When there are no ripples, no disturbances, you can see clearly to the bottom. You can see the truth of what lies beneath. But the moment you throw a stone, a notification, a thought spiral, a rush into activity, the clarity vanishes. The morning is your opportunity to protect that stillness before the inevitable stones begin to fly. This isn't about meditation in the formal sense, though that's beautiful too. This is about something even simpler. Being. Just being. Sitting with yourself without agenda, without trying to fix anything or become anything or achieve anything. Just breathing, just existing, just allowing the profound simplicity of aliveness to wash over you. There's a Japanese concept called ma, the space between things. Not the things themselves, but the space. The pause between notes that makes music meaningful. The silence between words that gives language power. The rest between movements that allows dance to breathe. Your morning silence is the ma of your life. It's what makes everything else meaningful. Western culture has trained us to fear silence. We fill every gap with sound, distraction, stimulation. We've forgotten that silence isn't absence, it's presence. It's not nothing, it's everything. In silence, you're not losing time, you're gaining yourself. You're not being unproductive, you're accessing the source of all true productivity. The Stoics practiced what they called retreat into the self. Not physically withdrawing from the world, but creating internal sanctuary. And the morning is the easiest time to access this sanctuary because the world isn't yet demanding your attention. The emails can wait. The problems haven't activated yet. The roles you play, parent, employee, partner, they're still dormant. In this space, you're just you. Here's what happens in that silence. Your nervous system regulates. Your stress hormones normalize. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for wisdom, decision-making, and emotional regulation, comes fully online. You're not just sitting there doing nothing. You're physiologically preparing your entire system to function at its highest level. But beyond the science, there's something spiritual about morning silence. Not religious necessarily, but spiritual in the sense of connecting with something larger than your immediate concerns. When you sit in silence, you remember perspective. Your problems seem smaller, your gratitude feels bigger, your sense of connection to life itself deepens. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But he also could have said we have silence and noise, so we can embrace silence twice as much as we create noise. In the silence, we listen to life. We listen to our intuition. We listen to the wisdom that's always been there but gets drowned out by constant doing. The practical practice is beautifully simple. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Sit comfortably, close your eyes or soften your gaze, and do absolutely nothing. Don't meditate with technique. Don't visualize. Don't affirm. Just be. If thoughts come, let them pass like clouds. If feelings arise, let them move through you. You're not trying to achieve a special state. You're simply resting in the state you already are. Some mornings your mind will be quiet. Some mornings it will be loud. Both are perfect. The practice isn't about controlling your inner experience. It's about being present to it without judgment. This is how you build self-awareness. This is how you develop the capacity to notice your patterns without being enslaved by them. The gift of morning silence is cumulative. The first day might feel awkward. By day 7, you'll notice subtle shifts. By day 30, you won't recognize the person you were before. Not because you've become someone different, but because you've become more fully yourself. The noise was covering your truth. The silence reveals it. Listen, if you felt that truth, don't just nod along, type it below. In silence, I find my truest self. Let your fingers seal what your heart already knows. Number 4, moving with purpose, not pressure. The body remembers what the mind forgets. It holds tension, stores stress, carries yesterday's burdens into today's dawn. The Stoics understood that wisdom isn't just philosophical, it's physical. When Marcus Aurelius prepared for his day, he didn't just meditate. He moved. He understood that a stagnant body creates a stagnant mind, and that movement in the morning is a conversation between who you were yesterday and who you're becoming today. There's an ancient principle called pneuma in Stoic philosophy, the vital breath, the life force that connects body and soul. The Stoics believed this force needed circulation, activation, awakening, not through frantic exercise or punishing routines, but through intentional movement that honors the gift of your physical form. Think about a river that's been frozen all winter. When spring arrives, the ice doesn't shatter violently. It melts gradually, gently, until the water remembers how to flow. Your morning movement is that thaw. After hours of stillness during sleep, your body needs to remember its aliveness, not through shock, but through invitation. This isn't about becoming an athlete or achieving fitness goals, though those are beautiful pursuits. This is about something more fundamental, inhabiting your body with presence and gratitude. When you stretch in the morning, you're not just loosening muscles. You're saying thank you. Thank you to your legs that will carry you. Thank you to your arms that will reach and hold. Thank you to your heart that beats without asking permission. Seneca wrote about the importance of physical resilience, but not for vanity or competition. He saw the body as a vessel for virtue. How can you practice courage if your body is weak from neglect? How can you practice discipline if you've never asked your body to do something challenging? How can you practice wisdom if you're disconnected from the physical intelligence your body offers? The morning is the perfect time for this reconnection because your body is honest in the morning. It tells you where you're tight, where you're holding stress, where you need attention. This feedback is a gift. When you move mindfully, whether it's yoga, walking, stretching, or simply flowing through gentle movements, you're listening to your body's wisdom instead of overriding it. Here's what most people get wrong. They approach morning movement with the same pressure they bring to everything else. They need to burn calories, hit targets, check boxes. But the Stoic approach is different. Movement in the morning isn't another task to accomplish. It's a meditation in motion. It's a way of saying, I'm here, I'm present, I'm alive. Consider how animals move when they wake. A cat doesn't consult a workout plan. It stretches luxuriously, fully, instinctively. A dog doesn't count repetitions. It shakes, stretches, plays. They move because movement is natural, joyful, necessary. Somewhere along the way, we humans forgot this. We turned movement into obligation instead of celebration. The practice can be remarkably simple. 5 to 10 minutes of intentional movement. Maybe you flow through gentle stretches, feeling each part of your body wake up. Maybe you walk outside and let your legs remember their strength. Maybe you dance to a song that makes your soul feel alive. The specific form matters less than your intention and presence. What transforms this from exercise to Stoic practice is mindfulness. As you move, you notice. You notice your breath deepening. You notice tension releasing. You notice energy beginning to circulate. You're not dissociating from your body. You're coming home to it. You're not punishing it for not being enough. You're thanking it for being exactly what it is. There's also something profound about moving before the world makes demands on you. When you move on your own terms, in your own time, at your own pace, you're practicing autonomy. You're reminding yourself that your body is yours, not your employer's, not your family's, not society's, yours. And you get to care for it with love, not force. Epictetus taught his students about the dichotomy of control, focusing on what's within your power. Your body's movement is within your power. You can't control if you get sick. You can't control aging. You can't control genetics. But you can control whether you honor your body with conscious movement each morning. That's your realm of power. That's where your dignity lives. And here's the beautiful ripple effect. When you move your body with intention in the morning, you carry that intentionality into everything else. The way you move through conversations, the way you move through challenges, the way you move through your entire day. Physical intentionality breeds mental intentionality. They're not separate, they're one unified practice. So tomorrow morning, after your silence, move. Not because you have to, but because you get to. Not to fix yourself, but to celebrate yourself. Not with pressure, but with purpose. Before you move to the next part, leave this promise below. I honor my body with purposeful movement. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. Number 5. Feeding your mind before the world feeds you. What you consume in the morning becomes the soil from which your thoughts grow all day. The ancient Stoics were meticulous about this. They didn't start their days absorbing gossip, tragedy, or triviality. They fed their minds deliberately, carefully, sacredly, with wisdom, truth, and philosophy. They understood that mental nutrition is as important as physical nutrition, perhaps even more so. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal that we now call Meditations. But here's what most people don't realize. These weren't just reflections written at night. Many were morning preparations. He would write reminders to himself about how to think, how to respond, how to embody his values. He was programming his mind before the day could program it for him. There's a reason every sacred tradition has morning prayers, readings, or contemplations. It's not superstition, it's psychological wisdom. The first thoughts you think, the first words you read, the first ideas you entertain, they set the frequency for everything that follows. It's like tuning an instrument before a performance. You wouldn't start playing without tuning first. Why would you start your day without tuning your mind? Think about the difference between two mornings. In one, you wake and immediately scroll social media, absorbing other people's curated lives, manufactured outrage, and endless comparison. In the other, you wake and read a paragraph of wisdom from a philosopher, poet, or thinker who elevates your perspective. Which morning creates a person capable of wisdom? Which creates anxiety? The Stoics had a practice called morning reading of the philosophers. It wasn't academic. It wasn't about accumulating knowledge. It was about reminding themselves of what they already knew, but easily forgot under pressure. Seneca would read Epicurus. Marcus would read Epictetus. They fed their minds with truth before the world could feed them with nonsense. Here's the profound part. You don't need to read for an hour. You don't need to finish books. You need to read for resonance. One paragraph that lands in your soul is worth more than 10 chapters that pass through your mind without touching anything. Quality over quantity, depth over breadth, transformation over information. Choose your source wisely. Maybe it's Stoic philosophy. Maybe it's poetry that opens your heart. Maybe it's spiritual texts that ground your values. Maybe it's biographies of people who inspire your courage. The content matters less than the intention. You're choosing what shapes your thinking. You're being deliberate about the mental seeds you plant. There's a concept in psychology called priming. Whatever you expose yourself to first influences how you perceive everything that follows. If you prime yourself with wisdom, you'll perceive your day through the lens of wisdom. If you prime yourself with drama, you'll perceive your day through the lens of drama. You're not just reading words, you're choosing the lens through which you'll see life today. Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. But how do you embody something you haven't reminded yourself of? The morning reading is that reminder. It's not about learning new truths, it's about remembering eternal ones. It's about saying, oh yes, this is who I want to be. This is what matters. This is how I want to show up. And here's the antidote to overwhelm. Your morning reading isn't another thing to stress about. It's not homework. It's nourishment. It's medicine. You don't force medicine down your throat begrudgingly. You take it gratefully because it heals you. Approach your morning reading the same way. This is healing for your mind. The practical application is beautifully simple. Keep one book, one journal, one source of wisdom by your bed or in your morning space. Before you engage with any other input, before news, before messages, before screens, read one page, one paragraph, one passage. Let it settle in your mind. Let it infuse your thinking. Let it become the foundation of your day. Some mornings, a single sentence will be enough. It'll hit you differently. It'll illuminate something you needed to see. Other mornings, you'll read more, drink deeper. Both are perfect. The practice isn't about quantity. It's about consistency and quality. It's about feeding your mind before the world tries to fill it with junk. The Stoics also knew the power of memorization. They would commit passages to heart so that in difficult moments, wisdom would be immediately accessible. You might do the same. When a passage resonates deeply, write it down, repeat it. Let it become part of your internal dialogue. Let it be the voice that speaks up when fear tries to dominate. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. The morning is when you decide what enters first. Choose wisdom, choose truth, choose nourishment, choose growth. Number 6. Setting intention, not just goals. There's a crucial difference between goals and intentions, and the Stoics understood this distinction with razor-sharp clarity. Goals are about outcomes you hope to achieve. Intentions are about the person you choose to be. Goals depend on circumstances outside your control. Intentions depend only on you. And in the morning, before the unpredictability of life unfolds, you have the power to set your intention, to decide not what will happen, but who you will be regardless of what happens. Marcus Aurelius faced this reality every day. As Emperor of Rome, he couldn't control whether his armies would win, whether his advisors would be loyal, whether his health would hold. But he could control his character. Every morning he would set his intention. Today I will be just. Today I will be patient. Today I will be courageous. Not today I will win, but today I will be worthy of whatever comes. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom, the recognition that external outcomes are ultimately beyond our complete control, but our internal state, our choices, our character, these are our kingdom. And the morning is when you claim your throne. When you set your intention, you're not planning your day like a chess game. You're declaring your values like a sacred oath. Think about a compass. It doesn't control where you go. It doesn't guarantee you'll reach your destination, but it always points true north. Your morning intention is your compass. It gives you direction when you're lost. It brings you back when you've wandered. It reminds you what matters when everything else is noise. The modern world obsesses over productivity, achievement, success. We wake up thinking about what we need to do, what we need to accomplish, what we need to prove. But the Stoics would ask a different question. Who do I need to be? Because when you focus on being rather than doing, the doing naturally aligns with your deepest values. When you focus on character rather than achievement, your achievements become meaningful rather than empty. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." The waste he spoke of wasn't about efficiency. It was about living without intention, going through the motions, reacting instead of responding, drifting instead of directing. Your morning intention is how you stop the drift. It's how you become the author of your day instead of just a character in someone else's story. Here's how this looks practically. After you've been silent, after you've moved, after you've fed your mind with wisdom, you ask yourself one powerful question. How do I want to show up today? Not what do you want to achieve, but how do you want to be? Present, patient, courageous, compassionate, honest, peaceful. Maybe today your intention is to listen more than you speak. Maybe it's to respond with grace when someone is difficult. Maybe it's to stay grounded when chaos swirls. Maybe it's to offer kindness even when you're tired. These aren't tasks to check off. These are ways of being to embody. They're not about perfection. They're about direction. The beautiful thing about intentions is that they're always within your control. You can't control whether someone cuts you off in traffic, but you can intend to respond with calm instead of rage. You can't control whether your project succeeds, but you can intend to give your best effort regardless of outcome. You can't control whether people appreciate you, but you can intend to act with integrity anyway. Epictetus taught about the prohairesis, the faculty of choice, the power to decide how we respond to life. But this power isn't automatic. It needs to be activated, reminded, strengthened. Your morning intention is that activation. It's you telling yourself, today I remember my power. Today I choose consciously. Today I lead myself. There's also profound freedom in this practice. When you set an intention instead of just goals, you release the anxiety of outcome. You stop measuring your worth by results. You start measuring it by alignment. Did I show up the way I intended? Did I embody my values? Did I stay true to who I want to be? These questions are answerable. These questions are empowering. Write your intention down if that helps. Speak it aloud. Hold it in your awareness as you move into your day. And here's the key. Revisit it. When you find yourself stressed at noon, pause and remember, what was my intention this morning? Let it recenter you. Let it guide you back. Some days you'll embody your intention beautifully. Some days you'll forget it by breakfast. Both are part of the practice. The Stoics weren't about perfection. They were about return. They were about getting up one more time than you fall down, about remembering one more time than you forget, about choosing one more time than you react. Your morning intention is your declaration of autonomy. It's you saying, life may throw anything at me today, but I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know how I want to move through this world. And that knowing, that clarity, that commitment, it changes everything. Stop scrolling. Stop waiting. Write this below. I choose my character before life chooses for me. This isn't just a comment. It's a contract with yourself. Number 7. Gratitude as foundation, not afterthought. The last principle is perhaps the most transformative, the most countercultural, the most powerful. Beginning your day with gratitude. Not the superficial kind where you list things mechanically, but the deep, bone-level gratitude that changes how you see everything. The Stoics called this amor fati, love of fate. But it starts simpler than that. It starts with opening your eyes and recognizing the profound gift of another breath, another morning, another chance. Marcus Aurelius would begin many of his morning meditations by acknowledging what he had, not just material things, but the gift of consciousness itself, the ability to think, to choose, to love, to grow. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This wasn't naive optimism. This was a man who faced war, betrayal, plague, and loss. He chose gratitude, not because life was easy, but because gratitude made life bearable. Here's what most people misunderstand about gratitude. It's not about denying difficulty or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging what remains good, even when things are hard. It's about recognizing that even in struggle, there are gifts. Even in challenge, there is growth. Even in darkness, there are stars. The Stoics practiced gratitude precisely because life was difficult. Gratitude was their anchor in the storm. Think about two people facing the same challenging day. One wakes focused on what's missing, what's wrong, what might go badly. The other wakes acknowledging what's present, what's working, what's possible. They face the same circumstances, but they experience completely different realities. Gratitude doesn't change what happens. It changes how you meet what happens, and that changes everything. There's neuroscience behind this ancient wisdom. When you practice gratitude, you literally rewire your brain. You strengthen neural pathways that notice beauty, connection, and possibility. You weaken pathways that default to threat, scarcity, and complaint. Your morning gratitude practice isn't just feel-good philosophy. It's practical brain training that makes you more resilient, more creative, more capable of joy. Seneca wrote about the practice of praemeditatio bonorum, premeditation of good things. While they're famous for imagining challenges, the Stoics also deliberately acknowledged blessings, not to take them for granted, but to truly see them, to feel them, to let them penetrate past the numbness that daily life creates. The morning is the perfect time for this, because you haven't yet accumulated the day's frustrations. You're starting fresh. Your heart is more open. Your defenses are down. This is when gratitude can sink deepest. This is when it can become your foundation, rather than an afterthought you remember when everything else fails. Here's the practice. Before you rise from bed, or right after your morning ritual, place your hand on your heart. Take 3 breaths, and acknowledge 3 specific things you're grateful for. not generic things, specific things. Not, I'm grateful for my family, but I'm grateful for the way my daughter laughed yesterday. Not, I'm grateful for my health, but I'm grateful that my legs carried me through the day. Specificity makes gratitude real. The Stoics also practiced negative visualization, imagining loss, not to be morbid, but to appreciate what they had. You might do this gently. What if this morning had been taken from you? What if you hadn't woken up? What if this chance was gone? When you touch the fragility of existence, gratitude stops being intellectual and becomes visceral. You feel it in your bones. But here's the deepest layer: gratitude for the challenges. This is advanced Stoicism. This is where Amor Fati lives. Can you be grateful for the difficult day ahead? Not because you want it, but because it will teach you something. Because it will forge something in you that ease never could. Because struggle is the price of growth, and growth is the point of being alive. Epictetus taught that we should thank the universe for everything that happens, because everything is training. Every challenge is a teacher. Every obstacle is an opportunity to practice virtue. When you start your morning with this perspective, you're not dreading the day. You're meeting it as a worthy opponent, a skilled coach, a sacred assignment. This doesn't mean forcing positivity. Some mornings are heavy, some days are dark. The Stoics acknowledged this. But even in heaviness, there's something to honor. Even in darkness, you can be grateful for your own resilience, for your willingness to keep going, for the strength that only comes from carrying weight. Your morning gratitude practice is your rebellion against cynicism, against the cultural tendency toward complaint and comparison, against the voice that says nothing is ever enough. You're choosing differently, you're seeing differently, you're living differently. Let gratitude flow through your fingertips. Type below, I begin each day with a grateful heart. Feel the shift as you write it. That's transformation happening in real time. The sun rises whether we're ready or not. But how we meet that sunrise, that's entirely up to us. These 7 Stoic principles aren't rules to follow perfectly. They're invitations to return to yourself again and again, morning after morning. They're reminders that transformation doesn't happen in grand moments. It happens in the quiet consistency of how you begin. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. They didn't have easy lives. They faced everything we face and more: war, loss, betrayal, uncertainty. But they discovered something timeless. The morning is your reset button. No matter what happened yesterday, you get to begin again today. No matter how many times you've stumbled, you get another chance when the sun rises. Your morning isn't just preparation for life. It is life. Each one is a complete experience, a small lifetime with its own beginning, middle, and end. When you treat it as sacred, when you fill it with ritual, silence, movement, wisdom, intention, and gratitude, you're not just improving your morning, you're becoming the person you were meant to be. The world will always pull at you. It will always demand, distract, and disturb. But before the world wakes, you have this time, this space, this choice. Use it wisely, use it consciously, use it as the gift it truly is. So tomorrow morning, when that alarm sounds, remember, you're not just waking up, you're rising. You're claiming your life. You're practicing the ancient art of living well. One morning at a time, one choice at a time, one intentional breath at a time. The Stoics are with you. Thousands of years of wisdom are with you. And most importantly, your own deepest self is with you, waiting to be remembered, honored, and lived fully. Wake up early. Start your day right. Listen every day. This is how transformation happens. This is how you become who you truly are. This is it, your final commitment. Comment. Every morning I rise as the person I'm becoming. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. Do it. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop your commitment in the comments and subscribe to this channel. We're building a community of people who choose to live intentionally, one morning at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing growth. Thank you for rising.